Hello, I am Kristie Kelly. I am a wide receiver and kicker for the DC Divas.
Can you tell me about your athletic journey?
Yeah, so my athletic journey started when I was 4 years old. I played on a soccer team that was coached by my dad, and then uh, that really ignited just this passion for competing, this passion for sports. I then played every sport under the sun. I did karate, I played tennis, I played basketball, I played lacrosse, and I think I I just love being around team sports. I love being an athlete, and so it's taken me to some of the craziest places and some of the uh, most wildest experiences. And I've loved it. I loved being an athlete my whole life.
Yeah, when I was doing my research, I saw you do a lot of ultimate frisbee. What's that like?
Yeah, so Ultimate Frisbee I started playing Ultimate Frisbee when I was in college. I played for Dartmouth Daybreak, and I had never played before going to Dartmouth. So I that was really like my first exposure to the sport, and I fell in love with it immediately. And when I was in college, we ended up going to the D1 USAU College National
Oh, wow.
Championships, and we won. And like that experience was just incredible. I just holding up that trophy like at the end of our entire season, like it was so much work to get to that point and then win. And we were such underdogs also. Like our team had never really won before. We didn't have a history of winning. We were pretty new to the national scene. So to have all that hard work pay off was awesome. And then from there, I actually went and I played in a professional Ultimate Frisbee league called the Premier Ultimate League. And I played for a team called the New York Gridlock. And I played one season with them before the COVID pandemic hit.
Oh,
Um, but that was another amazing experience, and it was professional ultimate. It was the first time I was getting paid to play, and uh, yeah. So that was a little bit about my ultimate experience before switching gears and now playing football.
yeah. How did the divas come about?
Yeah, and so yeah, the Divas came about. It was after the pandemic. So during the pandemic, a lot of team sports shut down, and I was really looking for a competitive outlet outlet. Like I wanted to play competitive sports, and the Ultimate Frisbee League, they were just getting back to getting in person and playing games again, and it was kind of in between that period. I had tried out for a few other like professional teams, and I didn't make it, and so I was like, okay, what do I do? What do I, and so I started looking up on Google open tryouts for professional women's sports, and I was really looking for soccer because I had always played soccer growing up, and I was originally looking for like semi-pro soccer leagues. Happened to come across the DC Divas. Never had seen professional women's ultimate or women's tackle football before that. And I thought, "Oh my gosh, that is so cool. I can maybe try out as the kicker. I've kicked a soccer ball, I can maybe kick a football." And so I went to tryouts, and the rest is history. That really kick-started my journey in this sport, and I had no idea what to expect. I went to tryouts completely blind. I didn't know any of the rules of football beforehand. I genuinely just thought that it would be fun to try out, and I had already tried out for so many teams prior to that. So, kind of that fear of getting rejected from a team, I've experienced that before. And so I've also learned through getting rejected on a lot of teams, like you just have to try. You have to try, and keep trying out because there's going to be that one tryout you go to that you play phenomenal and a coach sees it and you're going to make the team. And so I really just went in completely blind and was like, yeah, I'm going to give it a shot. Let's see what I can do. And, luckily my, athletic abilities got recognized and they capitalized on it. So, yeah.
What is it like being on the team?
Being on the DC Divas is amazing. I mean, it is a community beyond just football. It's a community that is it's really like a second chosen family to me. I mean, they show up and show out for people's accomplishments, people's heartbreaks, people's, you know, life events that are happening, promotions, graduations and things like that. And so it is it is just this community of athletic women who are also extremely smart, extremely talented in their work field, that are mothers that just want to show up for each other and want to support each other. And when you're surrounded by that energy, you just want to keep coming back. I mean, you really do. You want to play well for your teammates. You want to do well for your teammates. You want to show up for them, because like we always talk about why you keep coming, or like the reason why behind what we do. And it's really the people that have created just this beautiful culture and amazing community that I want to keep coming back and be a part of.
What are some of the things you do when you're not playing football?
When I'm not playing football, I am usually Lego building. I think a lot of people now know me as like this Lego nerd. And I'm totally happy to wear that on my sleeve. I love Lego building. I think it's super creative. I get to, you know, it's kind of my time to relax and focus on something and be creative and build something from my imagination, and it kind of grounds me, with playing sports and you're traveling to all these different states and cities and you're always on the go and you're always moving. And right now I'm juggling, living in New York, but also living in Maryland and working in Maryland. And so I'm constantly traveling. And so sometimes when I just sit down and I get to build a Lego set or build my own creation, like I just feel at ease and at peace and it kind of resets me for the week. And so that's been, I found that hobby during the COVID pandemic as well. And it has been honestly awesome for my mental health too.
And this week is a big one because you're going against the Pittsburgh Passion in the conference championship this weekend. How does that feel?
Yeah, so we're playing the Pittsburgh Passion. They're a really good team. We went one on one with them during the series, and playoffs are different. Playoffs, each team is going to bring it. They're going to, you know, add their own, take on, the season leading up to playoffs. And so, I think we're ready. We're going to come out firing. Um, we've been practicing really hard. It feels like we're peaking at the right moment. And I couldn't be prouder of where we're at with, you know, heading into this game. I think we're very capable. We've been working for this. We've been practicing since January almost, right? And so, all of that hard work that you're putting into this season, it comes down to this moment. It comes down to that game. I'm someone who really likes the pressure, and I perform well under pressure. And so I'm excited. I've had the like giddy nerves, excitement all week. I haven't been able to sit still. I'm like distracted at work, like thinking about the game, thinking about plays, envisioning winning, envisioning, getting to that national championship. And you know what? I know that Pittsburgh Passion is doing the same thing, and it's really going to come down to who's making the least mistakes, who wants it more, and who comes out firing.
What would you say to your teammates to pump them up for this weekend?
I'm a huge like I am always saying let's go. Any video that you see of me where I am fired up, I am screaming at the top of my lungs, let's go. I don't know why that's the first thing that comes out, but I think when I am in that zone and it's like I can't think of anything else. I'm just like, let's go, let's go, let's go. And that's like all this adrenaline pumping through my body and my veins. And so I think if I just said that alone, my teammates would be pumped up just because of the way I deliver it and the way that I say it.
And you said earlier playoffs feel different. How was the last playoff game for you?
The last playoff game was electric for me. It was such a fun game. We were indoors. We had a huge showing of fans and alumni, and it was loud. Like that stadium that we were playing at was loud and
Yeah.
the echo was loud. And so, even there were times when we were on the field where our quarterback Amanda had to signal to the crowd to quiet down. And I just love playing in games like that. I think you feel that energy so much when you can hear the crowd. And personally, like I was really happy in the way that we played as a team. Uh, as a wide receiver, I was super happy with our, wide receiver game and our game in the air and our passing. And uh, we were making big plays and big moments in at the right time at the right moments. And so that game was electric. Like that's if I had to use one word to describe that game, it was electric. And also, since I've been on the team, this is my fourth year on the team. It's the first time that we actually got to the conference championship in the years that I've been playing with the Divas. So it also meant so much to finally break through that first playoff round and make it to this conference championship.
And what is it like having Rich Daniel, the owner, there to support the team?
Oh my gosh. There it's hard to put into words what Rich does for our team. That man does so much. He sacrifices so much, dedicates so much time, so much energy, so much resources, from behind the scenes game days to sponsors to food after the games, food after practices, and spreading the word about us, getting people to know about us, getting people to come to the games, support us. Like he is our biggest fan and our biggest advocate. And like a lot of us want it for him too, like he's been doing this for 25 years or something crazy. This is our 25th anniversary. And so he's been with the Divas for so long, and I think a lot of us want to win for him and for how much he's sacrificed and has given back to our team and to women's sports and to women's football. Uh, it it truly is hard to put into words, what he has done for the sport and what he has done for us. And I am forever grateful to him and what he's done for us.
The last thing I want to ask is what would you say to any girls who want to follow your footsteps?
Yeah, to any of the girls that want to follow our footsteps, don't let anybody tell you you can't, because we're here, we're showing up, we're showing out. You can be a professional tackle football player. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. I think a lot of the times, when you're growing up and you're playing sports, like I remember growing up and going to recess, and I was only the ever girl playing soccer with the boys and or flag football with the boys. And so, I never really looked at that as me being a girl and them being boys when I was that young. I just was playing to play. And I think that that mentality has helped me in, you know, playing any of the sports I wanted to, like throughout my life. And so, you know, if somebody tells you you can't do them, that's not true. You can go do it. Prove them wrong and go do it.